All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Take Time Out with Tre Mosley. I'm your host, Tre Mosley, and I got a brother today that's doing things
Oh
coast
man,
to coast. I'm talking about he doing it LA and he doing it back in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio.
respectfully,
Uh, Jeremy McBryde joins the
what's
show,
going
ladies
on?
and gentlemen.
What's going on, loved ones? How y'all feel?
Oh, we good, man. We good. Uh,
Excellent.
Let me give y'all a little bit about this cat.
Oh man,
He and I first connected. I actually connected with him before I connected with him. Let me explain. So I love a good web series,
truly.
good web TV, and there was this web series, and what caught my eye, because as y'all can see, I ain't no slight fella. I'm a big dude,
That part.
and I saw this show, and usually the leads on the show. So I'm watching this web series, and most sitcoms and really TV movies, they always had this 6 foot brother, smooth,
That
oh,
part.
But I seen this dude that looked like me,
Yes,
and
sir.
he was pulling them
That
left and
part.
right. I said, "This is my kind of dude. I'm interested. Let me see what the goings on is." And I've been following him for a while, and I remember when the web series was over, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm about to get this food thing going." I'm like, "Oh, so this brother got other thing. He got more irons in the fire." So I'm
That
really
part.
intrigued now, and doing pop-up events.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Bruh, you gonna get that restaurant one day. It's coming." And
That part.
we put that thing in motion, and lo and behold, boom, here we are.
That part.
And
He will provide.
yeah, man, and to see your growth, and for us to chop it up and become family on it, man. It's been real dope to
Absolutely.
see it all come to life for you, bro. So
I appreciate
you
you,
know,
man.
I,
I appreciate
you
your
know,
consideration, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate your interest, man. You feel me? I'm glad that I was, you know what I'm saying, could be able to be a part of something that can, you know what I mean, touch and capture people's like emotions, you feel me? And have that tie, you know what I mean, where it feel like I'm a reflection of you. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean, in the truest form. So I'm always extremely appreciative that I had that experience, man, to kind of create those connections, if you will, bro. So
yeah,
that's love.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. So let's take it back for a minute, man, because
For
I'm
sure.
I'm sure a lot of the viewers who are familiar with the That Guy series, but I want to go back even further. So were you always interested in the art? So is that something that just somebody said, "Hey, man, I
Yeah,
got this web thing. I want you to hop on." Like, how did that
a,
happen
lo-
for you?
a little bit of both for real. Like at a young age, man. I don't remember if you remember a movie, man. It's called Little Giants.
Yeah,
Nah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Classic. You feel me? That was a movie that I saw growing up. I was like, man, I could play in this movie. Like I always remember that saying, telling myself like, yo, I could be one of these kids right here. Look, but it was always something that was never like a real like passion. It never seemed like a real possibility, especially coming from like Cleveland, Ohio. You feel me? Like where I'm from, man, people got like a certain kind of mindset. You know what I mean? Which is not a bad mindset. You know what I mean? It's just like it's survival
yeah,
though. You
yeah.
feel me? It's like I gotta work, you know what I mean? I'm working this factory job so I can provide for my family, you know what I mean? So maybe every summer we can take a vacation and everything is cool on my end. But you know what I mean? I never so like just having that like initial ideology, it never really seemed like a real possibility, you feel me? But I did have a vision, you know what I mean? I was bigger than Cleveland, so I had to get out and like kind of spread my wings in that space. And I did, you know what I'm saying? Hence to move to Los Angeles. Originally came out there for like recording engineering and film school, like doing post production for
Oh,
film.
okay.
But along that way, I was able to kind of like really like find what my true passion was, and that's really like being in front of the camera, man. So, long story short, man, I was doing some bouncing work. You feel me? Personal bodyguard, security work, and I was bouncing at this one bar, and I met my one of my closest friends to this day, and the first person I actually started acting was Will Catlett, and
The dude
he
right
was
there.
yeah, shout out Will
Yeah,
Catlett, man. You
good
know what I'm
dude.
saying, man, a man of many talents. Feel me? But overall, man, just beautiful human being, man. But long story short, he was already doing like the acting stuff. You know, what I mean, he had commercial agents and all this. He was like way far advanced than me. But he was like, "Hey, bro, man, you should do like commercials or something, man. Like, man, there ain't no reason why you shouldn't be out here. You feel me? In front of the camera doing some shit." So, long story short, He linked me with his commercial agent, man. They like me. They rock with me. They send me out on a few auditions, like, and I booked like 3 national commercials, like the first like 4 times me going out for
That's
something.
what's up.
You feel me? So like after doing that, like the first like 4 times me real possibility for.
Uh-oh.
So it was just a matter of how can I say getting a taste for something and then being like, oh, this is really a possibility. So I can
Yeah.
really do something with this. So long story short, I met Janine. And she had she saw the talent in me because she actually was around me for a long period of time, so she kind of understood like my manners and how I got down. She had the web series, had the idea, the concept, and she wanted me to audition for it. But like shit, I'm not good at auditioning for stuff. I did commercial stuff that you out here just showing your personality. But like you want me to actually read some lines, so I did. It was terrible. It was probably the worst audition you've ever seen from any audition.
Wow.
I promise you, it was absolutely trash. But she still rocked with me because she knew I could carry the role. So yeah, that's pretty much how I really got into the even shooting that the show that guy. I got into like um being like on air personality in general. So
Yeah. That's dope, man, because I know, a lot of people when they go to LA, like that's the dream. Like, okay, I'm out here, I'm ready to conquer LA. But then you have some folks that get out there and they fall into the ether, never to be seen or heard from again.
that's true, and it's easy to do that, man. You feel me? Like it's an easy place, you know what I mean, to get consumed, man, because there's a lot going on. You get pulled in a lot of directions. You feel me? But if you like tap into what source is, and really have like you gotta really just come to LA with like a plan and like don't waver off of it. You feel me? Because if you do, you could easily fall to the wayside.
Now, how long did it take you, like when you first got out there? When did you first arrive in LA?
I arrived in LA. What was that? Like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, 2008.
So from that time to that guy, what was the time span between then?
Well, we started that guy I think in 2012, so like about 4 years.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for sure.
That's that's not bad because I got I know some folks who have been out there for a couple of years and they're already ready to go home. I'm like, you
Now
gotta.
you got to put your work in, man. You feel me? Like it ain't gonna happen overnight, and sometimes it does. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what, but you can't. That's not really like a true reality. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that. It's gonna take some sacrifices, man, because you only gonna get out what you put in. You know what I mean? And you only gonna get out what you show that you are willing essentially to sacrifice. So,
Yeah.
far believer in
And,
that.
and what's cool is, and I was telling my wife this, that whole uh Janine verse, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, so many folks have come from that and are doing big things. And when you
Sure,
mentioned Will Catlett, I'm like, that cat, I saw it in him a long time ago, and he's doing things. Janine herself is doing
absolutely.
things.
Big
You know what
dog.
I'm
She big dog. She producing, man. She doing. You feel me? She in the writers' room. She's in the big rooms now. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
sir.
Making that real change, man. Creating a lot, man. So got infinite love for her, man. Infinite love for Will, man. And they just, man, I'm proud of them for sure.
Yeah. Do you see yourself um, getting back into acting? Have you considered that for the right role, you like, you know what? I
Yeah,
rock with y'all for a minute.
for sure, 100%. And that's kind of the stages I'm in now too. Essentially like being able to find that right road that's gonna be true. You know what I'm saying? True to me, and not necessarily I don't say reaching, but like it just gotta resonate with me, you know what I mean? And I got some dope stuff in the works, you know what I mean? Shout out Janine, you feel me? So just know that soon and very soon.
I just want to play security, man. I just want to be the dude just stand there like
Too.
this and just be mean mugging dude, man. Let me, I'm saying.
Overstood, man. You know you good for that, man. You got more than that coming, man. You feel
Oh,
me?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So let's
Appreciate you,
transition.
brother.
Um, you know, and on the show, I saw, and it's funny how it all makes sense now, but
Word.
you used to do a lot of cooking on there.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to ask, was that you being a character, or was you really throwing down on the show?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. You know what I mean? I definitely, what can I say? Cooking has always been a passion of mine, man. You know, and once again, it never really seemed like it'll ever like it always felt like it was just passion, like it would never really amount to nothing. Like I really never thought about like having my own restaurant or anything like that. So, it was just something I do. You know what I mean? And all my cooking really comes from spirit. You feel me? Like recreating memories that I've had in my life. You know, because unfortunately, a lot of my like closest family members have passed away. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the way I keep them alive is through food.
that's cool, man. So when did it finally hit you that you know what? I'm out here creating. Folks is like, yo, you made this, you cooked this.
That
What were the
part.
steps that you finally said, hey man, I think I need to
Hey,
go ahead and make this thing happen?
yeah, it was kind of like, man, opportunity kind of presented itself. You know, I was so I doing the bouncing late night. You know, I'm always out late. You know, I mean, one thing I noticed that like LA really per capita, like the food sometimes leaves a lot to be desired. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. Um, Especially downtown because that's primarily where I was. And
Yeah.
it was like only one spot open, and I was like, I mean, it was solid. LA Cafe, they used to really hold me down late night spot, but it was like it's definitely missing down here. So long story short, I had the opportunity to cater an event for like pretty much like the black businessmen of downtown Los Angeles.
Hmm.
So I catered the event for free, and I pretty much met my business partner who I started Comfort LA with. His name was Mark Walker, and he had access to a kitchen space. So from there, literally it was probably like a 3 week process, and I launched the pop up. You know what I mean? Because I had like I was ready for this, man. I had the recipe. You know what I mean? I already knew the concept. I knew I wanted to do short menu concept, just kind of like be a specialist in this place. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do macaroni and cheese, collard greens, chicken, cornbread. You feel me? And I'm gonna have a dessert, which is like a cornbread cake. And I'm doing my drink, which is ginger ale, which is Kool-Aid infused with mint ginger sugar cane. Like super simple menu. You come here to get this experience. And long story short, 3 weeks later, I rocked it. And that shit blew up, man. Shit. 10 months after that, I was able to pretty much lock down the brick and mortar location, which was right down the street from where we launched the pop up in Skid Row, in the middle of it. But one thing I know, and if you don't not familiar with Skid Row, it's a very yeah, one of the least desirable places
Oh yeah,
in the
most
city.
definitely.
But I can attest that if you build quality food and create a safe environment, man, you can bring people from anywhere. It's like an oasis. So understanding that from the pop up, we wanted to stay in Skid Row because we knew it was developing. So we locked down a location right up the street. 10 months after we launched the pop up, and then yeah, we kind of took off. Three was that after the first year, we got a food truck. From food truck, second location, you know, to the concept that I'm building out here. So it was definitely a path I never necessarily saw myself on, but I wouldn't change any of it for the world. I'll take that back. I'll revert back so I can have at least 2.5 M's in my bank account right now.
Yes, sir.
If I could go back, but as far as experiences go, man, I'm appreciative, man, of everything that has come for sure.
Now I know you touched on that. You know, cooking has always been a part of your life, and that that derives from people in your family. Um, who was the best cook in the family, and what did you take from them that you now incorporate into
Uh,
what you make?
Everything. I say my father, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Pops was a beast in the kitchen, man. But he was the oldest of 11, so he
Oh
was the cook of
wow.
the household. You know what I mean? So he kind of wanted to make sure I knew how to cook. But yeah, my pops hands down. And probably a dish that I take from the most, or that reminds me the most of it, is probably his chili. I try to recreate it because like I don't have any recipes. I recreate all these childhood memories like off of memory.
Hmm.
So I always find myself recreating those flavors that he had in his chili, and I used to get pretty close. It's never all the way his, but it's close enough that it really takes me home. So the chili for my pops, R.I.P. and for my mom Dukes. I can't leave mom out of it. Dad was definitely a beast in the kitchen, but mom held her own as well. So I can't leave her out.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
my favorite dish that she used to create for me, and I recreate now a lot is her enchilada casserole. It's one of those things that just really like take me back to my childhood, take me back to that, you know what I mean? Some of the sweeter times of life when life was a lot less carefree,
Yeah,
and you feel me, less worries, you know.
I feel you.
So yeah, I definitely recreate those to bring me back to that family.
I feel you on that. My mom, you know, I'm glad she's still here. That woman makes the baddest collard greens. And
Talk to me.
I have sat and watched her. Matter of fact, I used to sit with her and we would
Huh?
cut greens together because she old school. I ain't buying no bag of greens for nobody I don't know. You know
That
what I
part,
mean? So
that part, I get it.
yeah, so we would go painstakingly go
Yeah,
to the stores and looking at bunches. She like, nah, that one ain't good. It got worms. That's gonna die. I don't want that one. And then once we found a good bunch, man, we put on a good movie or some good music, clean them bad boys.
that's
And
dope.
old school, they gonna clean them in the sink.
Of course,
You know what
got
I
to,
mean?
got
And
to.
we sitting
Ain't
there,
really no other way to clean them for real.
real talk. And we sit there and roll them up and cut, roll them up and
There
cut,
you
roll
go.
them up and cut. And that
That's
morning,
dope.
she would get up probably about 9, make breakfast for us. It's crazy. My mom always made grits for us, but she never ate grits. But she know how to they be busting. Like how you know what I mean? And she would season her pot,
Uh huh.
um, throw them jokers in there, and I mean cook it low.
That's it.
4 hours done went by. I'm like,
That part.
say man, when
That
them
part. So
greens gonna be
right.
ready? She like, they ain't ready yet. And all of a
She
sudden
was
you
a
see,
pressure cooker.
huh?
She was a pressure cooker, or she was just a pot.
Press cooker.
Yeah, for
But
sure, for
she can
sure.
do it both.
Oh
And
yeah, no, absolutely.
bruh,
That's just more traditional, like you know what I mean. The pressure cooker is almost like a rite of passage, man. Not
yeah,
everybody, you know what I'm saying, even know what to do with one of them right
she
there.
got a pot that I'm telling you that pot at least 50 years old.
I
Gotta be.
believe it. I believe it 100%.
Gotta be. She
I truly
she
believe it.
put the lid and turn it and then lock in. I saw we
Straight up, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I feel like my granny had the same one.
yeah,
I'm promised.
yeah. So after about 6 hours and she finally turned it off and you just take a bite, I'm like,
Over
hey,
with.
is
Over
done.
with. That
So
part.
the two dishes that I personally have learned from her is them greens, and she make a bread pudding. I fight anybody any day. Don't touch it.
So
My
you gonna catch hands behind that bread pudding.
hey sir, and my sister, she's more of a pie maker. My other sister's more of a cake maker. I took up the
Got you.
bread pudding mantle, and
That's you?
they don't want it,
Oh, listen, man, they might need to send me some, man. Might make a little tray, man. Send that, man.
bruh. When you get
I
back in
appreciate. She listen.
town, let's talk about it. I ain't been down the street now.
That part right there. That's valid.
Yeah. So let's talk about so now you got the brick and mortar, things are
Yeah.
popping, and now you're starting to uh I don't want to say collide, but the acting and entertainment world is now starting to trickle into the food because people are seeing you on
Correct.
IG. You got Kevin Hart giving you love with your grub. Like, how did that
No, for
happen?
sure.
Where the celebs is starting to know who you are?
Man, it's all really like a lot of small circle stuff. So like once you get in good with one of the peoples, then it kind of spreads kind of quick. And that's kind of how it happened for real. I was brought on to cater a shoot for Kevin. But it was actually for like the on scene food. But like the food was there and like they couldn't pass it up. They tasted it and they just really rocked with what I was doing. So he reached out a few more times to do catering. Like I catered to his private flights, and a few other opportunities from relationships that were grounded there were built from there. So
Right.
we got to cater to SBs, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
Different stuff. No, absolutely. Uninterrupted stuff, well, with Maverick and all them. And yeah,
I mean, you can't.
but it's just small circle stuff
Yeah,
for real.
and and it shows that you never know, man, who's paying attention or
Very
where,
true.
you know, that plate that you fixed for this person, they may go somewhere and like, man, what you eating? And get
Right.
them a bite, and they're like, who did this? And now all of a
That
sudden,
part.
you having to turn the ring off the phone because it's blowing you up. You know what I mean?
That part. That's valid.
That's
That's
beautiful.
extremely valid.
Now, I know that the the last time you and I actually had a chance to chop it up, you were starting to expand. Right now, you're back home in Cleveland,
Hmm.
and you took Comfort LA and you brought it back home. How does that feel to have everybody who leaves home doesn't have a welcome home or hometown boy
True.
does good story, but you do.
Right.
So how does that feel coming back home and bringing what you've done out here on the West Coast back home?
Big crib. Man, it's everything, my brother. I'm not gonna hold you, man, because like at the end of the day, this is the community that made me, that gave me the foundation to be, you know what I mean, whoever I am in this world, you know. And I just feel like it was the perfect time, man, just because the city is starting to like evolve into the spaces. They're a little bit more progressive thinking in how they're moving. You know, shout out to Mayor Bibb, who is our current mayor of Cleveland. Solid, you know what I'm saying, young brother who has vision. You know what I mean? He was actually one of the primary reasons why I really wanted to come back. Just because I was like, oh, okay, we got somebody in there who's really, you know what I mean, who sees it, who gets it,
Yeah.
you know. So um and he's actually been a big supporter of Comfort CLE since we've been back. But yeah, man, just realizing, man, it was time, you know what I mean? Like I say, all my family's here. My dad got 11 brothers and sisters, so most of my cousins, I got like damn near 100 cousins.
Wow.
And they all here. You feel me? And I got, it's dope because I can actually employ them. Got two of my cousins been working with me since I opened back up, and they've been phenomenal. You know what I mean? You say it's kind of difficult to work with family, but I'm blessed to have some solid family who understands the vision and, you know what I mean, want to be a part of building something great. So yeah, just like really being able to provide opportunities, man, shine a light on my city. You know what I mean, bring as much attention to the food scene in Cleveland as I possibly can, because I feel like we're an undertoted gem.
Mm-hmm.
So many fire spots out here, man, that you'll never know, and so many different quality eating experiences that you can get from Cleveland, that, you know what I mean, that you just might not know. So it was real important to me for me to come back and try to shine as much light on the Cleveland food scene as possible. And there's really no better way to do that other than bringing, you know what I'm saying, the concept back, which has already been proven in one of the most difficult markets. And it's really translating, you know what I mean? It's been really ingratiated by the community. People are really liking what we're doing, the flavors. They see the homage, you know what I mean? Because I come from a city where it's like sauce on everything, you know what I mean? Like everything has a sauce on it, you know. So me having a signature sauce, it's so Cleveland, but it's, I guess you could say it's a variation of Cleveland that Cleveland hasn't experienced. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I could bring that back to
So
us.
so your menus, so the LA menu is different from the Cleveland menu.
Nah, it's pretty much the same menu with a few additions. So I have something called the City Boy, which is a Polish boy, which is the sandwich of Cleveland, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be asking yourself, what is a Polish boy?
I
I'm
was
about to
about
explain
to.
it to you. Yes, sir. So being Cleveland, being the Midwest, it was a lot of, at one point out here, it was a lot of Polish people out here. You know what I mean? What meat are Polish people known for? Pause. Uh, all right, but the kielbasa,
Yeah.
you understand me? The glizzy, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? The sausage,
For
the
sure.
blink. So long story short, it is a beef sausage. You understand me? On bun, barbecue sauce,
Okay.
fresh cut fries,
Wow.
coleslaw, barbecue sauce. You understand me? Then it's wrapped and concealed, so all those juices can just, you understand me, absorb, come
Yeah.
together. You feel me? And then you gotta peel back. It's a method to how to eat a Polish boy
I
too.
believe it.
Okay?
I
If
believe
you're
it.
from the city, you know what I'm saying, you might not understand.
What?
But
What?
so you gotta peel one layer of the foil and the paper back, and then kind of consume it like for bite. You know what I'm saying? So it don't get too crazy.
Okay.
So I got a variation of that on my menu, which is probably gonna be the best Polish boy you've ever consumed in your life if you are a Polish boy lover. It's called the City Boy. But yeah, so that's a homage. That's a homage to Cleveland, and it's been well received. I also brought my signature chicken sandwich back, of course, the
Hey
Big
now.
Six. That motherfucker go crazy. I don't know if I could cuss. I'd be cussing. But that motherfucker go crazy though, man. It's chopped chicken. You understand me? Or our signature sauce on a black brioche bun with mango habanero slaw,
Oh,
fresh cut fries. Might change your life, man. I'm
I
just saying.
mean, I got family out there. My cousins went to Glenville, and
Oh, tough,
yeah,
tough.
yeah. So,
Glenville District. The restaurant is that would be my high school, my adopted high school.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna show let them know that y'all need to go by and show fans some love for real.
For sure, for sure. We'll take care of your family. You already know. Your family, my family.
Yeah, yeah, because I've sent people to Comfort LA, and they like, man, your boy hooked us up. I'm like, it's good, it's good.
That part. That part.
So now let's transition, man. So things are going well on both coasts, and in between, Food Network starting to peep around a
Man.
little bit. So how did that
Yeah,
relationship
man.
happen?
Yeah. Shout out to Food Network, man. It just honestly happened, man. For kind of being out here. So long story short, I shot a promo with Dutch Master.
Okay.
So Dutch Master was starting like at their own like almost like reality content. You know what I mean? Tapping in like bigger than cigars type situation.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a highlight of different chefs, artists, and I think it was musicians. So they selected me to be a part of the food. This is when I first launched Comfort LA, when it was still in the pop-up phases. I feel like, and I think I was right before brick and mortar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they reached out. They wanted me to be a part of it, and I guess I just murdered that shit, man, because a couple different production companies reached out to me after that to kind of see what I had going. And excuse me, long story short, one reached out, and I really liked the vibe. I appreciated what they were talking about. So we shot a sizzle for a concept. Long story short, the sizzle showed well. Somehow Food Network got a hold of it, you know what I mean? And they reached out to me to pretty much start a relationship. So they've kind of like been like incrementally putting me in different couple different shows on the network as like a judge, you know what I mean, to kind of get me familiar with the audience. The audience can see me, understand me,
Sure.
and understand that, you know what I mean, I'm gonna be one of the faces that they need to reckon with moving forward.
Absolutely. So does that mean we gonna get our own show, man? What's happening?
That part, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. That concept was actually in got some motion. You
Yes,
feel
sir.
me? You know what I'm saying? When the time is right and it makes the most sense, I have no doubts that it'll go exactly where it needs to go. But yeah, I got motion, man. That's for sure.
What do you say is your favorite dish to make?
Favorite dish to make? Honestly, probably recreate my mom's enchilada casserole. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it's really no other hug I can receive other than, you know what I'm saying, recreating that. So that'll probably be tops on my list for real.
Does it is there a lengthy process? Is it something that now that you know it, you
Yeah,
just go in there and do
yeah.
it real?
Like I don't do recipes, chief. All this come. I literally cook from spirit, man. You know what I mean? And I season until the ancestors tell me to stop. Um, but um, but nah, man. It just comes from. It's just an attempt to recreate that taste. You know what I mean? Once I get the taste, it takes me back, and that's like all the confirmation that I need that I'm close. So
That's what's up, man. Um, so what's been the the biggest transition? Because now when you started doing this food thing, did you see that here we are 10 years down the road
uh,
that you just went from I'm gonna do this pop up, okay, they digging what they picking up what I'm putting down. I got the brick and mortar, but now people are starting to see your true evolution. Like this dude ain't just some cat that just know how to put a couple of things together. He's like real bona fide. He know what he doing up in there. Like what's the next step for you? Did you envision that it would get this big?
nah, I mean, I really, man, I just feel like I got so much more work to do, man. I'm appreciative of all the steps that I made so far, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I know it's just a lot more room for growth. So I know you're supposed to smell the flowers while you can smell them, you know what I mean? But I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm locked in on trying to take it to the next level, man. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but
Nah, you good, man. When you are being the celebrity judge, because you know when we see the shows, we see it in this condensed.
it's not. And the thing is that it's not even a celebrity judge, big dog. It's just I'm looked at it as a judge, as a to be brought on as a judge, you obviously have to be a master in a
Okay,
space. So I'm looked at as the, I'm black, obviously. Soul food is very important. So that's kind of where it comes. That's where my expertise comes in, and that's where I'm sought after as a I guess you could say a visionary in that space.
so like I said, when we as viewers are watching the show, when that's going on, and you know the host will say, "You guys got 45 minutes to get this dish prepared," and I'm thinking, "Ain't no way they doing all that in 45 minutes."
Yeah, yeah, that should be real.
Really?
Yeah, the time be the time. You know what I mean? You got to get it done in there. You know what I mean? Granted, you know what I mean. I won't give up any of the TV magic, but you know what I mean. You might have to like reshoot something, but hey, there we go. But overall, the time is the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's pretty spot on as
Okay.
far as what you see to what you get.
Now, and I know you don't want to put nobody under the bus, so we're not gonna name names. Like none of we even know who they are. But have you ever, when
Absolutely,
you're judging a dish and you take a bite, I know you have to. There's a way you can criticize on the show. Hey, this is lacking this. This is lacking this. But have you
absolutely,
ever had one like off camera? You like,
absolutely, 100%. Like what was the thought behind this? Of course, for sure. But you know, that's a part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't always bat 1,000. You know what I mean?
have you ever
Straight
pulled
up. So
anybody
I
aside and said,
understand that.
"Look, I don't know what you was trying to do, but if I was you, maybe I would less of that, more of this."
Yeah, yeah, yes and no, because like a lot of shows don't like a lot of times like limited ingredient stuff. So it's like I can give you a critique, but it's like it's a pointless critique. You know what I mean? Because you might not necessarily even move like this if you would have had X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
while you were cooking. You know what I mean? So I always get that type of grace. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've definitely had some things that I regret that I had to consume.
Man,
For sure.
what would you say is your most difficult dish to prepare or create?
Hmm. Most difficult. I don't know. That's a good question. Because I guess I may look at difficulty different. I may look at it as
Or maybe
temporary.
most challenging, if not difficult?
Most challenge. I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. Probably anything in the fish space, just because like I'm allergic to fish.
Oh.
So like I'm taking chances. You feel me? Every time I'm preparing,
For real.
I'm preparing something like this. You feel me? Like I must really love you, man. Because shit, if I rub my eye wrong or fucking when the scales hit
It's
my lip,
done.
it's over with. It's over with.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll probably say anything white flesh fish related.
Okay. Now, this is something that's near and dear to me because um, I love barbecue,
Yes, sir.
and I know the last time we talked, you mentioned that it would be a possibility because you got the soul food game on lock. I'm trying to see what's up with them ribs, baby. When we getting the rib joint going
Getting the
on.
rib. It's funny you say that, man. So one of the portions of like even me coming back to Cleveland, something we haven't discussed yet, is I'm launching a concept called Flavor Neighbor.
Okay.
All right. And what Flavor Neighbor is a restaurant development house. So I'll be working with other concepts, giving them opportunity to kind of run their concept out of my space while we look to scale their concept in underserved communities.
Nice.
So yeah, I have three different concepts I'm working with now. I'm getting ready to launch the first one, the first quarter of next year. And one of them is a rib concept, but it's not just regular ribs. All right, it's turkey ribs.
Ah.
You feel me? I don't know if you hip. Yes, sir.
New to me.
Yes, sir.
Get me on game, man.
Listen, man, I had to get put on myself because I didn't even know that existed, man. So I came back to Cleveland. I was like, y'all doing turkey ribs, bro? But long story short, they're absolutely amazing. And just understanding how everybody's more conscious about what they're eating and what they consume. I wanted to, like you say, I wanted to always do like a barbecue concept, but I wanted to be like fast casual, limited menu items, you know what I mean, but be a specialist. So I was lucky enough to run into these brothers. They were formerly known as the Rib Kings. The current concept that we're getting ready to launch is called We Want Smoke.
Nice.
And like I say, man, they had the turkey rib, man. I thought it was one of the most phenomenal proteins I've encountered. You know what I mean? I kind of explained the concept to them, and they were willing to work. You know what I mean? So the rest is history, man. So yes, long story short, we definitely got some ribs coming to you very, very soon,
I
my brother.
appreciate it.
For
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So now that it's the holiday season, do you prepare a big feast for the family, or do you keep things scaled down, or do you say, you know what, look, I cook 365, y'all got it?
I ain't doing no cooking during the holidays, not for real, man. Not for real. I'm doing light cooking unless, like, I obviously got catering I'm going to facilitate. But, like, personally, I'm all about what y'all got. I'll bring the dressing. You know what I mean? I'll bring a side. You feel me? But it ain't going to be on my bike. Not on my bike. I refuse to take that.
You know, that's
and then it's cool. It's good, too, man, because, you know what I'm saying? Even though your food good, sometimes you get tired of tasting your own food, you know? So, and I always appreciate the different flavors, man, that my family and my friends can provide, you know what I mean? Because everybody know I be on Food Network, so they be trying to bring in they try to upscale
like
the
look at this
taste and all that shit.
presentation.
Yeah, straight up. Let me see that. So I like that, but I ain't gonna hold you. I like to see what they working on, see what they want to bring out. They will see the things they want me to taste. So yeah, for holidays and stuff, man, I play the back seat.
You know, that's
front.
interesting because I get a lot of people, especially because they know I'm a voice actor. Like this time of year, I do a lot of Santa Claus requests.
I bet.
And
I bet.
you know, for certain friends and family, I'll do it. But usually the holidays, I don't even be wanting clients to hit me up. I'm like, I'm chilling. I done talked enough this year. You know, can I rest for a second, please?
Straight up. Let me post up.
So I definitely get that. So what I like to do on this show, before we close, you know, I always ask this of everyone who is a host, who is a guest rather.
Yeah.
You know, in your profession, you know, you are grinding, and you literally, because you're going coast to coast. So what do you do? And you know, the name of the show is Take Time Out. So what does Jeremy do, my dog from the land? What do you do to take time out for yourself, bro?
Man, what I do to take time out for myself? Man, I like to be alone. I take sabbaticals of just chilling for real. That's my ultimate take time. And then at the time, you know what I mean, I you know what I'm saying, I try to center, you know what I mean, I do some meditation, you know what I mean, I try to meditate every day. I wish I could say I did meditate every day, but I don't. And just trying to take care of my mental health, you know. That's an evolving battle that I'm pretty sure we all go through it in different ways. Sure. So just making sure I'm not putting too much on myself, making sure that I give myself grace, because sometimes I could be my harshest critic, or all the time I could be my harshest critic. So just being conscious of that is really how I take time. And you know what I'm saying? Just take time. Be easy.
Just take that and take time. I feel you on that.
That part right there, man.
That's true.
What do you do to take time? I'm curious.
Shoot, what do I do to take time, man? You know, my inner kid will surface at any moment.
Understood.
And you know, I am a child of the '80s. So in my studio where I am right now, as I look at all the shelves, I got G.I. Joes and Transformers.
Tough. That's right.
And you know, something that I just do while I'm here at the crib, if I'm not recording, I'll go take one or two of them and then just transform them and put them back on the shelf. And then they'll be a car for like a month, and then I'll go look like, you know what, you ain't transformed in a minute, and I'll go over there. That's me, bro. You know, I'm a simple.
And that's raw. I love that for you, big dog. For real, man. That's tough. You gonna make me get some Transformers, man, just so I can
Dude,
transform them because I ain't
you know,
transformed in a
I'm
couple
a
months.
fidgeter. I always like I got something in my hand, right? I always
That
gotta
part,
have something in my hand just to fidget.
I get it.
And sometimes
I
I could
get
be
it.
watching a movie and I'll sit and be like, you know what? I got this joint in my
Mhm.
hand, and all of a sudden I'm just and he'll be a radio again, you know.
I get.
You know what I'm saying? I love the barbecue.
That's wrong.
And I had those
Dope.
moments too, like you said, where you just want to be by yourself. I get me a good drink and a cigar.
Yep, yep. There you
And
go.
you know, I also have a big vinyl collection. So
Oh,
so
dope. That's sweet.
you know, I just got this 2 volume album. There's a documentary came out a few years back called Watt Stacks. And it was about this big concert that happened in the late 60s, early 70s. Man, they had Isaac Hayes, they had the
Tough,
Barkays, and
tough. Oh, was that the one Questlove was on or
no,
produced or something like
that
that?
came after that came before Questlove's. I know
Got
that's
you.
Summer of Soul. That happened in New
Oh,
York.
okay.
This one
Got you.
happened out in Watts in LA. And
Got you. Okay.
the documentary was so dope. I'm like, if I can find the soundtrack on vinyl, I'ma get it. And it took a minute
Need it.
because every time I looked for it, either they had limited supply or it was some people trying to put their kids through college trying to sell it. I'm like, nah, we ain't playing them
Got you.
games. But once I finally found
That
a
part.
dude that was like, yeah, man, I've listened to it for years. You want to take it off my hands? It's yours. He gave it to me for like $30.
Oh, that's
You know what I
love,
mean?
man.
So now that I got it,
That's love.
I haven't cranked it up yet, but probably this weekend. Um,
Hey, let me know how that turned out, man. You might need to go live on that,
hey,
man.
bro, that's
Share that experience, man. Unless you want to
no,
post
it's
it to
all you know
yourself.
what I love sharing music. You know, I got back
Yeah.
into beat making. I used to, you know,
Tough.
many moons ago. I was in an R&B group, bro.
And they, you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm literally that doesn't surprise me at all.
And you know,
At all.
we did a couple of things. I mean, we ain't make it big, of course, but and me and my buddy used to make beats. I got out of it and started pursuing other stuff, but he stayed with it. And you know, he passed almost 2 years now from COVID. And when he
Man, I'm
passed,
sorry to hear
yeah,
that.
and it really affected me because you ever know that cat that you know that if one person would have put him on, that he was gonna take off.
It's been over with. Yeah. I
And he
got you.
was that dude. You know, he had tracks
I got you.
and beats that I'm like, man, if somebody can just like let me hear what you got, he'd have been out of there.
Right.
And
Understood.
my animation that I'm putting together, he hit me up and was like, "Hey man, I got some beats if you need something for your show." And I was like, "Yeah, I got you. Let me know what your rate is, or let me just buy the track from you." He's like, "Man, you my dog for how long? I ain't charging you for
Right.
this." He's like, "Just make sure you show love and the credits for your boy. That's it." And
That part.
I was so glad that in the production process, the scene that the animators drew, I put his music into it, and he got a chance to
Mhm.
see it before he passed.
That's
But
dope.
yeah, you know, his death affected me hard and it just made me kind of sit with myself like there's so many things that you were maybe afraid to do or you were worried about what the
Right.
next cat was gonna say. I'm like, no, no more. You know, I don't care if I make a beat and nobody hear it. Just the fact that I put it together
You
and I
did it.
did it. You know what I'm saying? So I
That's
like
tough.
to take time with myself. Of course, with my wife. You know, we two silly people. So the
That's
two of us
dope.
together is it's an adventure. Um, but yeah, when I have my me time and my alone time, man. Like I said, the 8-year-old come out. You know what I'm saying? I got this little
Dope.
Nintendo joint. I, I plug
Tough.
into my
Tough.
Mac and I'm playing Tecmo Bowl. So
You good.
I
That's raw.
feel, especially now
Bo
as
Jackson?
we get older, you know, mental health is important. And I think sometimes people
For
think
sure.
when they hear mental health that you got to be in some somber place and sitting there and nah, man, mental health for me, I do things that make me feel good. If I can
True.
suspend disbelief and all the rough and crazy shit that's going on out here. And if I can for a minute, you know, transport myself elsewhere, then I'm gonna do that. So
Right.
I think that's very important. Um, so what's next? What's the future of this thing, man? What do you feel like? You got, like I said, you got them on both coasts. Food Network is showing love, and now you're giving people a
For
space
sure.
to create and have their dream come true. Um, what does
Absolutely.
the future hold?
It's the evolution of that. Doing that on a larger scale, bringing that flavor neighbor concept to every major market. That's the end goal. You know what I mean? 100%. Just providing space for restaurateurs of the culture. You know what I mean? The ones who really don't get the opportunity. The ones that it's at the end of the day, it's hard to acquire funding when you're a minority, man. It's just
Absolutely.
point blank period. However you cut it. There's certain hoops that we have to go through to get these things. So if I can help, you know what I mean, develop, give somebody the tools to bring their concept to life in a way that can be scaled so they can create generational wealth for their family. I know that's an overused term as well, but that's really what it's about. You know what I mean? Eradicating food deserts, all across our community and our neighborhoods that matter the most and with the people of the community.
Yeah, that's dope. Tell the folks out there, man, if they want to follow and see what you're doing, man, and while you're making your moves, what's the best way to follow you on social media?
You can tap in like a back band. You understand me? Catch me on IG, the Insta gratification space app, if you will, at Vanessa Williams. That's Finessa Williams, Willams, not spelled traditionally. You tap in with me on. I'm not really huge on Twitter, but yeah, man, IG is probably the best method. And if you want some good food, make sure you tap into Comfort CLE. That's in Cleveland, Ohio. You understand me? And Flavor Neighbor. So that's how we rocking.
Don't forget Comfort LA too, bro.
Oh yeah, shout out Comfort LA, man. Absolutely, man. You can definitely tap in and see what we got
And you
going on
got
that
what,
side.
2 locations down in LA?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'm actually in transition period now. I'm transitioning them into to Flavor Neighbor
Okay.
concept. So they'll be able to provide space. You know what I mean, for a lot of the restaurateurs to do development out
All
there.
right. Well, y'all, this has
Yes,
been
sir.
a treat for me because like I said, I've been watching this cat uh from being on screen doing his thing to, hey, still on screen
Yes,
doing his
sir.
thing, but now he doing what he love, and that's out there feeding the
That
masses,
part.
not just feeding them in their stomach, but feeding them with opportunity. And I just wanted to get you on,
Absolutely.
man, so you
100%.
can get your flowers and spread love and spread what you're doing out here and doing it in a big way.
Love, man. I appreciate you, man. And once again, man, I'm over proud of you, man. You feel me? You paving the way, absolutely, in the voice actor space, because I know there's a few of us out there, man, and you definitely doing us
I
justice, brother.
appreciate it,
Know
y'all.
that.
Appreciate it. This is Jeremy McBryde, y'all, and thanks for watching another episode of Take Time Out with Tre Mosley. And take some time out for yourself. And we out of here. Thanks for listening to the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley podcast, part of the Titan Media Network. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. To see the video version of this, you can find us on YouTube on the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley YouTube page. Thanks for listening, or thanks for watching. Either way, we'll see you next time.